back to school for thousands of Central Florida students. How many spent their final day of summer in this hot Florida sun? Plus, we are talking traffic safety for both drivers and students. What law enforcement is doing to keep your kids safe. Then it has been 1 week since 2 deadly mass shootings in Texas and Ohio. What lawmakers are saying about gun legislation. Good evening and thank you for joining us tonight on Spectrum News 13. I'm Sharon Stone. Those stories are coming up after a quick check of your weather on the ones. With this weekend's heat index staying in the triple digits, it was a hot final day of summer for thousands of students heading back to school on Monday. Spectrum News 13's Crystal Knoll. You can expect a heavy law enforcement presence on the roads Monday to keep your kids safe. Orange County bus drivers say it's crucial for drivers to pay attention to those school bus signs and those flashing lights when they're picking up or dropping off students. By law, traffic in both directions has to stop for the stop school bus unless there is a median separating the roadways. Florida Highway Patrol also wants to make sure students who decide to bike to school are wearing helmets to avoid a serious injury.
Riding a bike.
Failure to wear a helmet could result in a $63 citation for the child or even their parent. Hundreds of deserving families in Orlando got a last-minute helping hand ahead of the new school year. A local nonprofit gave out hundreds of backpacks filled up with school supplies. Volunteers for a new Orlando-based nonprofit called Compassion Through Education. Join us Monday morning for extensive live back-to-school coverage. We'll have reporters in Orange, Osceola, Brevard, and Volusia counties keeping you in the know. This all starts at 5 a.m. And make us part of your morning routine with traffic and weather together every 10 minutes and the stories you need to know before you head out the door.
Everybody's getting down and my first instinct's like, where's my wife?
It's been 1 week since a gunman opened fire in Dayton, Ohio, killing 9 people. The community continues to come together and mourn the loss of their loved ones. Families laid to rest the first victims from the shooting on Saturday, and services for Beatrice Warren Curtis, Derek Fudge, Nicholas Coomer, Logan Turner, Saeed Saleh, and Monica Brickhouse were all scheduled to take place throughout the day. Meanwhile, Democratic lawmakers are pushing to make a change in gun legislation. El Paso native and presidential candidate Beto O'Rourke has been outspoken since last weekend's mass shootings.
We can end this epidemic.
The investigation continues into how Jeffrey Epstein died in federal custody from an apparent suicide. He was found unresponsive in his jail cell on Saturday. Titusville police are investigating a deadly shooting at an apartment complex. Detectives say a man was shot and killed Sunday afternoon at the Park Villas Apartments on South Park Avenue. No word yet on any suspect description. Titusville police ask anyone with any kind of information to call Crime Line at 1-800-423-TIPS. We're keeping tabs on whether the man accused of making threats on social media involving a gun and shooting up a Walmart remains behind bars. 26-year-old Richard Clayton appeared before an Orange County judge on Saturday. He was charged with sending a written threat to commit bodily harm. According to the arrest affidavit, Clayton was belligerent while being taken to jail, actually telling the officer that, quote, "I hope the next call you go to, you get blown away and killed." He also exposed himself and threatened to urinate in the car. The judge set his bond at $15,000, and as of right now, he has not bonded out. The Trump administration is defending last week's mass immigration raids in Mississippi, and this all comes as the White House is considering another round of those raids. In the tech world, where there are countless choices for shoppers, how do you do comparison shopping for exactly what you want? Spectrum News 13's Al Rochelle found a website dedicated to just that in his Extra on the web. For the link to this website, as well as other sites or apps that Al has featured, head over to mynews13.com/extra. The actions of an embattled former professional guardian are causing growing concerns about senior care and the state guardianship program. We will tell you the proposed protections state leaders are now hoping to make in a special watchdog report coming up on Spectrum News 13.